Chapter 27. The palace has been hidden for a decade, ever since my mother died, and my nan made her spell to keep me safe, ever since anyone saw my father. It rises up before us now and takes my breath away. It's a colossal marble tangle of sweeping outer staircases, roof gardens where ice apple trees grow, and turrets topped with needle-sharp twists of green copper. Gargoyles spout rivulets of ice down over snow-encrusted window ledges, and great sheets of glittering frost cover every doorway. And in every dark space, between every crenellation, lurking along the very edges of the palace, are yet more shadows. They are snarling foxes, dark-eyed hares, and other spiny creatures I cannot name. They gather, darker and faster, until the air is as thick as it is cold, but they do not strike. They do not move towards us. "Do you really think he's here?" I whisper as tea cake bounds before us, half disappearing into the snow with every landing. Winterspell reads the twisted silver sign over the main gate, its bars jagged with splintered ice. "Something's here," Zara replies, making my spine itch. "I'm not ready," I say, halting in my tracks. "Yes, you are." "Zara." "Stella." She rounds on me and her face is fierce, her eyes glowing. "This is it. And I do love you for all the thinking you do, but this is not the time for thinking. This is the time for acting." Nobody's ever talked to me like that before, not even Nan. I swallow. She keeps her eyes level on me and folds her arms. "I don't know what he'll be like," I whisper. "What if he's like Nan, just a ghost, all thin and disappearing? What if he doesn't know me? What if he hates me?" "He doesn't know you," she says. "But I do, and Yanni does. You can do this, not because of legends or lost princesses, because you're you." Her words reach into me, and moments later, nerves steeled, we rush together towards the palace, ignoring the howl of the shadow creatures around us. And when I strike at the ice that screens the vast front door, it's not that I think I can break it with one small fist or two, or even with four, when Zara's joined mine, but that I know we will. The frozen barrier shatters and crumbles before us, crashing down the steps in a great glacial tide. Sweeping over the icy rubble, I grab the tarnished silver door latch and twist it, desperately muttering the words for the charms that Nan taught me, over and over. I catch my breath as the door swings open to another wilderness, gleaming ice roping through tarnished silver chandeliers, frozen spiderwebs clinging to the marble banisters, fine snow carpeting the glass door. It used to glow with the amber reflection of candlelight and faylight, and with all the footsteps of the fae. I lay on it once. I feel the vibrations of all their comings and goings, to feel the bare skin of my arms against its smooth warmth. The memory hits me and slows my footsteps. When I blink it away, the stag is here, standing before us, his great antlers twisting up and out to fill the vast, bleak hallway. Tea Cake rushes down the stairs towards us as the stag flickers and disappears from view, and the tread of heavy, slow footprints echoes through the palace. The Shadow King. "What did your Nan say about breaking the curse?" Zara whispers. "What do we do now?" "We were looking for the palace," I reply, "and we found it. But there's something." My eyes drift to the stairs that Tea Cake just came down. "I think there's something up there." "Kitten!" roars a voice, splitting the air and sending blasts of icy mist through the corridors ahead of us. "Where have you gone now? I thought you had returned to me." We stare at Tea Cake, who is perched on the marble sphere at the base of the banister. She lifts one paw and begins to lick it. And I remember her sitting exactly there, doing exactly this. Only the sun was streaming through the doors behind me, and my mother was laughing, because she had surprised me so. "This is Talia," she says, lifting me to meet the kitten face to face. "I found her in the forest and she followed me home." "I thought we said no pets," rumbles my father, stalking down the steps frowning at the kitten. "Not a pet," says my mother, raising her eyes to this. "Far more than a pet, my dear, which you would know if you'd take the time to look closer. Besides, she chose me, as feline things will, and she will be a perfect playmate for Estelle." "Stella," Zara whispers, "shouldn't we stay down here and face him?" I swallow the lump in my throat. Memories come easy as clouds here, and every time they do, I lose my focus and forget about Yanni and what we are doing here. Is that part of the curse? I clear my mind and something calls to me. The acorn at my throat is warm and it's pulling me onward. "Not yet. We need to go up," I say. "Tea cake, will you distract him down here?" She blinks and drops to the floor, venturing down the central corridor. The steps are slippery blocks of ice, and they seem to go on for miles. We stare up at them, clutching at the bitterly cold banister. I mutter a few words of magic, and as I step forward, the ice melts beneath my feet. "Step where I've stepped," I whisper to Sarah. "Magical footsteps. Just melting ice, that's all," I say. Actually, it's making it pretty clear where we've been, isn't it? At the top of the steps, we look back to see small footprints leading to where we now stand. Let's get rid of them. I gesture at the staircase, recalling the lantern word for melt. Liquimissus. The stairs begin to drip, and the grey arches of ice on the chandeliers below us glisten with melting ice. I forge on, Zara by my side, and we tread down the corridor over worn, faded carpet that glitters with frost, and my ears are stretched with listening for him. But there is only silence below, and then the air is torn by the unmistakable sound of dawn breaking. I frown. It isn't dawn, is it? We can't have been gone a whole day and night. No, it's not dawn, Zara says, shifting her feet. I need to go, Stella. What? Mrs. Mandrake told me it might happen if things ever went truly badly in Winterspell. I went to see her after I left you yesterday. I still had her number. She said Rory could use the horn if she had to. It means there's trouble. You've got this. She looks at me. Really, you have. But shall I come too? What if it's Yanni? What if it is? She asks. You do your bit, I'll do mine. And I promise, Stella, I'll explain later. She turns and runs back to the stairs, and I go to shout out after her, but a new memory assails me. Estelle, my mother's voice, but pale and worn, her face but too thin. Standing by her bed, my hands clutching the cold sheets as someone pulls me away, screaming, My star! She struggles to sit and use the last of her fire to drown out my wails. Go with your Nan, live your life away from this, and when you are strong and bold, when you are grown, then you will come into your own, then you will return. She reaches for the table by the bed, picks up the links of the copper chain and ties it around my neck with a whisper of words that seals it. A single silver acorn hangs at my throat. I reach for it now, feel the heat of the golden one that has joined it, that hung at her own neck so long ago, and I force myself onward, down almost familiar corridors, with the sense of her by my side, searching every inch for what I need. Now I know there were 3 acorns, one silver, one gold, and one of rich, dark